Hey everyone, it's Matt. This is Big League Small Talk, and I am wearing my cool Giants shirt today because we have some early trade rumors earlier than we normally get. The San Francisco Giants reportedly are already listening and doing their due diligence on a lot of their big name players. Some of them are not surprises, some might be long shots to be traded, but let's dig in. First of all, the two easiest candidates, two big name veterans on expiring contracts. You have Luis Arraez. He's playing on a 1 year, $12 million deal. Um, at the trade deadline, which we're about 7 weeks away from, he'll only be owed about $3.5 million. That's not that much for the major leagues. He's contending for a batting title again, doing his usual thing. Just his strikeout rate is minuscule. Honestly, in my opinion, he's a pleasure to watch. He's an old school type player to me, and just battles every pitch. I love it. But the biggest development with him has been his defense at second base. Just has been fantastic, almost flawless. So I think he has a lot of value. He's on an expiring contract. He's 29 years old. I think he's a easy candidate to bring back some nice prospects, get some more talent infused into that farm system. The other one is Robbie Ray, left-handed starter. He's been pretty good throughout his career. He's had a couple really good seasons. He is on an expensive deal. He's getting paid $25 million this year. So there'll still be a lot to pay there by the time the trade deadline rolls around, or if they trade him soon. He's he hasn't he hasn't performed very well this year. He started off good, but lately he's been walking a lot of people. He's always given up home runs throughout his career. So his ERA is bloated. His expected stats, if you're into the more advanced stats, were actually even worse than his actual ERA. And so he could be tougher to trade. They might have to eat a little bit of money to get a better return. But I think a big value franchise like the Giants should be willing to do that. And every team is always looking for more pitching. It's an old axiom for a reason. You can never have enough pitching, especially experienced starting pitching heading into the postseason. All right, those are the two obvious guys. The big news is that they're listening to offers, maybe working hard to trade these guys, but Rafael Devers, who they just traded for a year ago. I did a full breakdown of that trade yesterday, so check out that video. Um, if they're already moving on from him, that's very interesting. Um, Willy Adames, their shortstop, and then third baseman Matt Chapman. Now, all these guys are on huge contracts, several years remaining. Let's kind of go through them one at a time. Matt Chapman is going to get your best return just because he has the fewest amount of years and money remaining, and he's the best performing player out of the three. I don't know if there's anyone better in the league right now at third base. Uh, I've always wondered why he wasn't a shortstop. I feel like he's a good shortstop that somehow ended up playing third base. He plays as deep as the shortstop, still comes in on the ball and makes plays on slow rollers constantly. And he's graded as the best defensive third baseman in the league most years for a reason. Has an absolute cannon for an arm. He's usually a good base runner, will hit for some power for you, good on base percentage, and he's playing well again this year. If you like WAR, he's been up near the top of the league for the last several years. He has 4 years remaining on his contract after this year at $25 million a year. For some big market franchises, that may not be a big deal. You're going to get the production. And then you have Willy Adames, the man to his left. Giants signed him to their biggest contract ever for a free agent at the time. I think he still has 5 years, and his salary escalates after this year. It's low this year. I think it's 10, 13 million, something like that. But then it balloons up to something like 28 million a year, something like that for another 5 years. And he's underperformed. He's making a lot of errors. He's made a lot of mental errors this year. That's concerning for a clubhouse leader type of guy like him. The power is still there as far as home runs, but just the overall stats just haven't been great. It's been pretty underwhelming. I think that's going to be a tough one to move. I would say they would definitely need to eat some money on that one. But it's been known for a while that to get big free agents to sign in San Francisco, as far as hitters, you're probably going to have to overpay. And we're seeing that. And it's fine unless they underperform like this, and then it hurts. It'll be tough. It'll be interesting to see. Maybe somebody gets hurt, has a team has a big need, they can just plug him in. No, he's a veteran, he's been traded before. Up the middle guys are always very valuable. All right, and then Rafael Devers, first baseman slash DH. He's been playing a lot of first base this year. He looks pretty good over there, actually. Converted third baseman, so you'd expect him to adapt. He'd be able to field grounders really well. So it actually has gone pretty well. The concern has been his hitting, which has been basically league average this year. He's been trending upwards overall this year. This year and last year, he's gotten off to horrendous starts. I don't know what that's about. But he had a big month of May, slumping again in June. But typically he plays better as the season goes on. Last year when he got traded to the Giants, put up at least 20 home runs. Their ballpark didn't seem to affect him a ton. He's leading the league in doubles. The biggest concern is his strikeout rate has gone way up, and he is owed a lot of money. I believe it's 7 years after this year, and he's at about 27.5 million a year, I think, which is a lot. And they do have deferrals built in there. I think 7.5 million of it is deferred each year, which does help. But that is still a hefty contract for a player basically locked into first base or DH. There may be teams out there that, hey, we need a big power lefty in the middle of our lineup. He's performed in the playoffs before. I think the biggest issue really is that contract is huge, so that could be tough to move. Let me know what you guys think about these trade rumors, who you think might be moved, any questions you have that I could answer about the potential trades, and who you think they should or shouldn't trade. I mean, this is a team that looks like are they rebuilding or retooling? Um, Matt Chapman is a guy I think you trade maybe if you are rebuilding. He's the only concern with his contract is his age. He's 33, so the last 4 years are going to be expensive for an aging player. So that might signal a slight rebuild. Willy Adames signed for years. They haven't had an answer at shortstop since Brandon Crawford's career has been winding down. Uh, I know Adames has been underwhelming, but I can't think of who else they could have realistically plugged in there. They do have a lot of top prospects in their minor leagues that play shortstop. That could be a factor here. So maybe they're trading away or exploring trading away Chapman, Adames, Devers, and they see Bryce Eldridge is stepping in Devers' shoes, and kind of the next crop coming up, filling in those spots. They already have Casey Schmidt that could play third base if Chapman gets traded away. So that would be a big gamble. Relying on a prospect to come in and play shortstop for you and anchor your infield. But that may be the direction they need to go. They do need to stock up on pitching with these trades. Their bullpen has been beaten up with injuries and just overexposure. The back end of their rotation has not been good at all, to say the least. So what do you guys think? Is this signaling a bigger rebuild, or are they retooling, going to try and compete again next year? All right. Let me know in the comments down below.